get my hands in here, and I guarantee kids are putting their heads underneath there.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, do it. And then I love the steps coming down, and they're actually going to build a railing in here for baptisms, huh?
Correct.
That's my kind of baptism right there.
Oh, now look what we've done. I've gotten myself wet.
You gotta get in there, buddy.
My hand's not as short as yours.
Nice. This is super exciting to me. We are at Christ Community Church, which is a church that I went to for 10 or 11 years. And I built them a pond. I actually built them 2 water features, and they decided to do an addition. And my guys came in here and built a recreation pond for their kids for their summer camp. And they even do baptisms in here, which is really cool. This is my first time seeing it. I've seen all of the videos, which I'm sure we'll put a link in the construction of this. But wow, this is the driveway when you come up, and this is how the guys designed it. I'm so proud of my team. What a cool thing. I think every church deserves a water feature. Good work, Brian. And here's the funny thing. They're already thinking about making it bigger. This is the first season, right?
It's not even been in 5 months, and they want to take this whole space and make it bigger because the kids love it so much. We're gonna do a double railing starting here. It'll go down like this. And so as they do the baptisms, they can walk on it. And then the solution to get around this boulder so we wouldn't have anybody trip over the boulder, picture a double railing, then a big circle like this. So you'd hold on it, it would naturally move you around and you'd continue to come down. Now here, these are not swim shorts, but I'll keep going. And then the railing will go all the way down. And then that area there is about 30 inches deep. But how could a kid not want to swim in this? It's so much cooler than a swimming pool. I mean, put your snorkel mask on and get to explore, where a swimming pool basically would be like swimming in a big open field, right? Like, not fun.
Yeah.
You want to like move around and discover new things. And as you put your snorkel mask on, what's behind this rock and that rock? And Greg, you noticed all the dragonfly larvae in here. I mean, they're everywhere.
Nature. It's just like we evolved as a species. We didn't evolve swimming in chlorinated pools, which is a chemical. This is natural. And when I get out of a recreation pond, I feel cleaner. I don't even take a shower than when I get out of a swimming pool. I always take a shower after a hot tub or a swimming pool. I never take a shower after swimming in my rec ponds. So talk a little bit about the design, because it's pretty unique how you did this, because you kept it to 4 feet.
It's at 4 feet deep, but I just wanted to design it so the kids could use it, right? And you can see, I mean, you can't miss it. This big shelf in there.
Yep.
And so that's more of like a seating area. So you can get about 12 kids sitting around on that bench.
So cool.
And then it's impossible for you to see this, but what's supporting that bench is our curved stack slate walls. So that whole area keeps it nice and clean, and there's a drop off there. We've got some of our power heads. You can almost see it on the bottom down there.
You built them into the wall,
Into
right?
the wall,
Yep.
so they're shooting out from there. The suction line from those power heads are these guys.
I was wondering what those were. So you're pulling down from the thing.
We're pulling from here, and the idea is if we pull from there, we get better circulation throughout the pond. So there's 2 power heads down there, and then there's 4 suction lines feeding those 2 power heads. And so we just used ADS drain pipe.
Yep.
And brought it back around to the power heads.
So that's the first time we've ever done that.
The first time. And then you can really see it now because the water's so clear. But notice how it's not our traditional boulders, gravel everywhere. This whole bottom of the pond over here is a big slate bottom.
So the kids can walk with bare feet on it better than with the gravel.
Huge pieces of flagstone.
And then I love the steps coming down. And they're actually going to build a railing in here for baptisms, huh?
Correct.
That's my kind of baptism right there. I love the boulder in there. They're going to put a railing, you said, and then they're just going to come in here and have baptisms.
So the boulder, I love aesthetically the boulder sitting there, but really when they're walking down, because of the stairs, it's hard to figure out which way you're going to walk.
So what's amazing, Brian, is the hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of kids that were swimming in this thing, and yet we just treat it naturally with bacteria.
That's all that we're putting in there. Right now we're actually starting to add the cold water bacteria to it.
Yep.
But throughout the summer, it just gets our regular bacteria. We use the professional grade just because of the size of it. We don't have any biofalls up here. This is all fed by our spillways. What's keeping this clean is our oversized wetland filter over here.
So many people ask how we keep our pond so clean. It's an ecosystem-based pond. And what's interesting is this is a wetland that doesn't even have aquatic plants because they knew the kids would be pulling them up. Because the kids are playing up in here.
The kids love this spot. They actually love coming in here. And so this is a first-year pond. You know, with like this setting, how many frogs are gonna find this within a year? They're gonna be everywhere in here.
Right.
And so coming up in here, they can just play with it more. But I did encourage the church to get some aquatic plants, not just for aesthetics, but they're actually extremely educational. And it gives a lot of places for hematobes. And
that's Ed the Pond Professor. If you want to learn how an ecosystem pond works, check out Ed the Pond Professor. But here's the snorkel right here. Underneath there is a series of aqua blocks. And then once a year, you would just open this up, drop a pump in here, and back flush it with the water from the pond. We'll just do an annual clean out for them. And this pond will just stay crystal clear throughout the year. And the more a water feature gets used, the more natural it becomes because of the fact that the kids are stirring it up and they're in there playing. And that's what this is so fantastic. This is a first-year recreation pond. And look at how spectacular it looks. Every year a pond is in the ground, it will become more and more of an ecosystem as it evolves. And as the plants grow, they don't have many aquatic plants in here right now, but I think they should put a few in just because it's part of the nature.
There's so many different varieties they can put in here. I would actually encourage them to do some tropical stuff because the kids would get a kick out of the giant elephant ears and everything else. Now you can see as I do this, this stirs it up a little bit. And so really the kids playing in here helps filter it and clean it and move things around.
The more a recreation pond gets used, the cleaner it's going to be.
It's a small pump. You don't need a huge pump to feed your wetland filter. We're pushing less than 3,000 gallons of water through this whole thing. But you can just barely see that water moving out. If you follow some of the algae that I've stirred up, see how it's pushing out? So there's just enough circulation. The entire pond is done out of granite boulders. A huge inspiration from our trip to Australia.
Okay.
I loved seeing Patrick's rounder boulder swim ponds. And for kids, I don't want to use round boulders this size for a swim pond because if I stepped on a round rock this side, two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to fall in or the rock's going to fall in, right? But when you get these massive pieces of granite, you can still find flat edges on them. It also just seems more friendly to kind of swim around than some of the more angular rock that we use.
So this is the art. We don't like to do drawings because there's no way you can draw that little bit of water coming out there because the rocks speak to us. And just to have that little tributary of water coming out there just adds character and interest.
How many kids do you think come over here right away? Like, I can't help it, but I want to walk right over here and get my hands in here, and I guarantee kids are putting their heads underneath there.
Oh yeah, you gotta get in there, buddy.
My head's not as short as yours. Nice. You see him do this? Oh yeah. You know, a lot of times we just use a big giant piece of slate or a huge flat stone and I'll go to the quarry to find something. But here it made sense just to use a couple of leftover pieces of what we used for the stairs. It just ties it all together to have that same continuity throughout the whole thing. And so the kids come down, as they use this, they come down from over there inside, come in over there by that big boulder, and then we've got this winding, curved, crushed granite pathway. They come over to here, and eventually they're gonna do like a pavilion and stuff over in here,
Oh, wow.
which will be really cool. Have some permanent seating out here, place for the kids to hang their towels, that kind of stuff. And then like you mentioned just a couple minutes ago, we're gonna extend this pond from there all the way to about here. And we're gonna do another bench type area with a little deep spot.
The number one complaint we get is the pond was too small. Everybody wants to make it bigger. Nobody ever wants to make it smaller.
This is a big giant fake rock. It's a concrete rock. We didn't want anything that the kids could move and pull away, but all of our pumps are external pumps.
Yeah.
So we're using inline pumps and pulling the water out of we have a 3,000 gallon tank down here. It's actually fed off of that roof water over there.
Natural rainwater.
But we can flip this over.
So the iNgen will help break down the string algae.
They're on our maintenance program, so the guys actually come out and add water treatments. We've got our external pumps right in here, and we actually have enough room for a third pump if we want to add another pump.
It never ceases to amaze me what our guys can do. This is my first time actually visiting this pond. I don't go to this church anymore, but I gotta tell you, it's so enjoyable for me. It's what it's all about. It's about getting kids in nature, helping families connect, and it's so fun for me to see a church doing this. I think more people need to be exposed to natural water features, living the aquascape lifestyle, and having fun. I love my job, I love my art, and I'm super impressed by my guys. If you like this stuff, please like, comment, and share this stuff so more churches can see what living the aquascape lifestyle is all about.